again, back for another fun-filled episode on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. I know you have pressed the subscribe button and the follow button because that's how you find these great videos, right? Press, ding, ding. Well, I'm sure you've done it by now. So, we're back for another episode. So where are we? We're over here at the Retro Arcade and Fascination on the Boardwalk. This is 2900 Boardwalk on the corner of Magnolia Avenue. And we are approaching our schedule for being open for the season. So there's all these things you have to do to get things ready. One of the things that's always fun for me is Fascination. And because I installed automation, it makes it even easier for me because we used to have to collect it manually. We used to have to hand out tickets by hand. But I got rid of all that because I put in the handy-dandy coin mechanisms that, like an automatic attendant that just sits there that puts on credits. But even better, I put in automatic ticket dispensers. So the machines will dispense the ticket at the given times of my programming. So the tickets are on strips. Most people who have played in arcades today realize you leave the tickets in the strip. It grows out of the machine. Once in a while you get people who are so like, you know, they got to get that ticket, they got to get the ticket. Every time one comes out, they'll pull it off, And they yank on the ticket, they're pulling it out. You can't pull it out. You have to pull up or down because they're perforated and they'll break at the proper spot. If you yank, you rip the ticket in half and then they cry, "You ain't ripped my ticket in half." Don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. But better yet, when they get all these little pieces of ripped tickets, they really throw the wrench in the gears because then they go over to one of my ticket eaters and they stick the little pieces of ticket inside the ticket eater, expecting the ticket eater's gonna be able to do something with that. Well, you know what? It can't. If it's not in a strip, that little piece of ticket will stick in there and the rollers won't grab it. It's not going to do anything with it. It's just going to jam up the machine. So, you make your life easier, but ultimately you're dealing with the general public and a certain level of understanding, which if they don't have it, they don't have it, and you try to teach them through our educational videos here on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. So, as the tickets come out, you're left with a run of tickets. Look, tickets! And you know, these are very fashionable tickets. Some people like to wear them, you know, as a fashion statement as they go down the boardwalk, like the flappers of the 20s and things of this nature. But most people can't wait to get those tickets, and then they go over to one of the ticket eaters. Here's one, and they shove it in the ticket eater. Now, I could leave this in a giant chain, and if I don't have any folds or bends in it, it'll suck it right in. But for the purpose of Magic Video, we'll make it a little bit smaller. So you shove it in the hole. Look. Somebody shoved in a piece of a ticket. So now, will it work? There it goes. But it wouldn't work because somebody shoved in a piece of ticket. You see? You thought I was kidding about this stuff. It sucks it in. It counts it up. When you're all done feeding tickets, you press the button, and out comes the magic receipt. I have 13 tickets. Look, it's the land of fun at 2995 Coney Island Avenue in Brooklyn. Land of fun? You will not even believe me when I tell you. They do not design these machines to be user-friendly, to reprogram what the receipt says. You wouldn't believe this. You have to bring in a laptop with a special cord to connect to the board inside the machine. You have to have special software from Deltronics, who made the machine. assuming they still support the software for that model machine. Then you got to learn what you want to change, how you can change it. You got to go. Trust me when I tell you, I've gone through this. Why? Why, if you've gone through this, does this say Land of Fun in Coney Island? Well, I'll take you over to the other ticket eater and I'll show you why. We will give it some tickets. I've got 5. Now, will it give me a receipt or not? A much bigger receipt. Look. Thanks for playing at Tributes and Traditions Retro Arcade and Fascination, 2900 2904 Boardwalk, Wildwood, New Jersey. Friend us on Facebook, search Randy Sena. Search us on YouTube, Main Street Randyland, and subscribe, part of Randyland. Valid this season only, but there's a trick to that. Look at the date. 0103. It's not even 03, that's at 3. Because you know what? They don't hold the date very well. Batteries? Possibly, but if it's batteries, why didn't it lose all the other programming? You know, this took about 5 attempts of programming on this machine. I had to have a friend bring in his laptop because I didn't have one that was compatible with a certain software. Took about 5 attempts, took hours, took several days to do this. This was my first ticket eater. This was given to me by a friend. I would never have gone out and bought a ticket eater. To me, it's nonsense. You can count your tickets, you see. But after he gave me this ticket eater, why did he give me a ticket eater? Because he switched to swipe cards. And with swipe cards, you don't get tickets, which is one of the reasons they switched to swipe cards, was they don't have to feed tickets into the machine, unjam tickets, count tickets, or buy tickets. Tickets cost money. You can only use them once. Once they're off the strip, they're done. So he gave me the machine. And I found it was helpful to me. So since I had one, guess what? When it jams, then I got none. People are used to it, so now I had to go buy some more ticket eaters. And I bought that other one and the one behind it from a guy from Coney Island. Thanks, Sam. And it says Coney Island. I never reprogrammed it because you know what? We know where it's from. We don't have to go through that nonsense. But getting back over here, the mystery of what happens to tickets when they go into the ticket eater. Well, some of you know this, some of you don't. There are actually 2 compartments on your ticket eater. If I can find the key. Aha! All right, that's one. That's the other one. Okay, we'll unlock the bottom one. Look, the belly of a ticket eater. It's filled with chopped up. Look, it didn't chop all of those, but it missed one. It's filled with chopped up tickets. They chop them up, and it eats it. It's like confetti. You could go, how many tickets are in here? How many tickets? Thousands and hundreds of thousands of tickets, the ticket eater. Now, I would have been counting all those tickets by hand, you see? So the ticket eater does come in handy. But how does it end up like that? This is the inside of your ticket eater. Not very complicated, is it? Here's your main control board, which you have to take the cover off to plug in your special laptop for your programming, and your power supply, your very heavy-duty motor. And in here is where they go down. You have a sensor there that's watching it, keeping track of it. There's sensors all around. But inside here, if we can yank this off, I'm gonna go behind you here. Okay. Look, remember I showed you they stuck a half a ticket in there? There's remains of a half a ticket. And that would go through and possibly clog one of the sensors. There's sensors here, sensors there. If it lands in the wrong spot, you're done. So don't put half tickets in there. And I know now there's gonna be real jerks who come in and try to put half tickets in there just to make my life miserable. So inside here, you see where that ticket is? There's a chopping knife. and it goes around. See that knife coming down? Look, chop. See him? Chop. As those tickets go through, the knife will chop those tickets up. That's very dangerous, because if I had my finger there in the wrong position, it would chop my finger. But they have an interlock safety switch. See, look, it says safety switch. That turns the machine off so that it can't possibly turn while my finger's open. But what they didn't realize is, look where they put the safety switch. Right here. So if I lean in on the machine, I can turn the machine on, and look, it's turning. Oh my God, you heard it. It could have got my finger. What a rotten spot for a safety switch. So these rollers are notorious, right? They have little rubber O-rings on them here, and they're very hard to change. You got to pull this up and get that out of there. It's difficult. You also have rollers here. Now you'll notice a trick. You see here, we have extra O-rings hanging on the sides, because if I got to change those O-rings, I got to take that whole axle out of there, which is a real pain in the butt. So when you do it, you put some extra O-rings on the axle on the side, so when you wear one out and you got it, or it breaks off, you can just flop another one on there without having to take a whole axle apart. You see? Then you got to slide your cover back in here, which sometimes goes in nice, sometimes doesn't, and you don't want to press on the PC board so you bust it. Make sure your flap is closed. Turn your machine on with your interlock. Oh. Okay. They're gone. They've been eaten. Down the hole they go. Trust me when I tell you that motor's not stopping for my finger. So be careful of your ticket eaters. Your program switches are here, your printer is here, your special receipt paper is here so it comes out and all that good stuff. Look, we even have instructions. Instructions. Oh my God, we're losing things here. What are we losing? Another receipt. Well, look at that. I didn't know we made it to the year 25. What happens in the year 2525? In the year 2525. Wasn't that a song, the year 2525? We'll go back over to the other ticket eater, because the guy who gave me this ticket eater, he must have been worried about his finger. You will see there's one fundamental difference here. No chopping. Real live tickets. No, you can't use them over. No, I'm not scotch taping them together so I can have problems with my dispensers. Well, this one fills up fast, so I can only go maybe a week or so at best. But on this one, the chopper has been removed. You see? There's no more chopper, so it cannot chop your finger off. Now, certainly that is an improvement for safety. I'm out of O-rings, so I'm screwed if this one breaks another O-ring. But the reality of it is, it's better that way. Then you gotta have some sort of grinding mechanism. I'm looking for my chopper unit. Is it around here? Where is it? What's in here? Yes, an extra board. You wouldn't think I wouldn't have an extra board somewhere, would you? An extra optic board. I don't know where it is. Now that's upsetting me. Well, I have the chopping part somewhere. So, oh, well, here's part of it. Here's a wheel. There's the chopper. There he is. See, nice sharp blade. Goes around, chop, 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 chop. So if you don't want to get your finger cut off, remove your chopper. You see? And then you too can put it on the side of your motor so you don't know where it is anymore. But this is the ticket eater. I love the ticket eater. I even have, look, here we are, 1979. You know, they didn't have ticket eaters in arcades for a really, 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 really long time. We always counted them by hand. Then somebody got the bright idea to come up with a ticket counting machine. They had that when I was in Seaside Heights as a kid at the Casino Arcade. We played skee ball. night after night after night, and had tickets. Originally, machines didn't dispense tickets. The guy came over, handed you tickets. Then when they put the ticket machines on, they got the idea of making a ticket counting machine. But you know what's funny? Why is this making noise? I must not have the optic on right, because you hear the motor turning, it thinks there's something in there. So they got a ticket counting machine. I don't think it was made to be a ticket counting machine. It was probably made for some other purpose. But the tickets in this arcade, you had to actually separate each ticket like this before you handed them in to the lady. And then the tickets would be all piled like this and put into a pitcher, and it would roll them off like a bill counting machine with a roller and count the tickets that way. That was the first ticket counting machine that I ever saw, and that was in the Casino Arcade in Seaside Heights. Let's see if we still have noise here. Now, I'll tell you another interesting thing. Just as Murphy's Law will go, still making that noise. Maybe it's because I interfered its action. Oh, it shut up now. I guess it was waiting for those tickets because I started it. Thank you, 7 more. Now, just the other day, I was over by a friend, and he sold me an original ticket eater. This is the first model ticket eater that they made. More to it than you would think. Same type of situation. This doesn't lift on this one. That's got a hole that goes down probably into a counter below. And all this does is count the tickets. And I don't think this prints a receipt. I don't see any way for it to do so. Counts on a scale there. Counts on a totalizer. I haven't even tried it. Shall we try plugging it in? All right. Do we have any power here? Noisy little bugger. Let me see if I have some tickets here. This has a hole on the bottom, so I probably will jam it up unless I make the hole on the bottom over here. All right, let's see if this works. It's pretty good, but I didn't get the tickets on the bottom. It counted them all right. Where'd they go? They're gone. They're gone. Oh, I see it. Look at that. Works well. So it does count it, right? Look at that. It cut them in the middle. Now that's interesting. So you can't use them again. Kept them in a long line. So now when you do your Mardi Gras confetti, you can do it with 2 lines. You see? Very fashionable. So this was the original, made by Deltronics, and it does work. So thanks, Steve. Let's turn them off, and we'll unplug them. And you know, I don't know. I think tickets should always come out of the machine. I mean, really. The swipe card, it's nice to save money on the tickets. Tickets are expensive, you can't reuse them. And now that less and less arcades use tickets, guess what? Ticket prices have soared to new heights because they're not selling in volume, so they have to charge more. So, I still like it when the tickets come out of the machine. They don't like it like that anymore. Everything's a swipe card, goes on there. How do you know what you're winning? You don't feel it. You know who started that? The casinos. They started that because they didn't have to want to deal with the money and the money management. They didn't have to leave all kinds of money in the machines. Now it's all credit. Cashless society. Swipe the card, swipe the card. Well, you're giving an awful lot of trust to the card, right? Who knows? That's me. Well, now that I have a receipt for 7 coupons, I'm going to say see you later, and I'm going to see what I can get from the redemption counter. Because I don't want to save up all summer like I did when I was a kid for the Yogi Bear lamp. You know, I played 7 games. I want something now. We'll see you next time from the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Bye, guys. 7 tickets. 7.